His folks took him and sisters Terry and Kelly to gospel quartet concerts, where he sat mesmerized, eyes never leaving the piano. He debuted at 10, when Dad had him play for his quartet the hardest time singers, because their pianist never showed up. By the time he was 15, guess who had the job? In high school, his passion for piano grew by the day, as did his ability. In his teenage heart, a dream formed of keyboard mastery. When he was graduating, he went for it and never looked back. First came piano performance at Western Kentucky University. Next, Bachelor of Arts in Music at Louisiana Baptist University. Then he taught at Charles Nobel's School of Gospel Music. He remained on staff for the next 40 years. In 1980, he was offered the first professional job with London Paris and the Monitors Quartet. 3 years later, he played for the world-renowned Blackwood Brothers, and from there joined the Rex Union Singers. Rex encouraged him, so Jeff's performances flourished. And in 1988, he received the Favorite Young Artist Award. Jeff credited Rex his primary mentor. He was most grateful, though, to call him and the Newmans lifelong friends. In 1990, Danny Funderburg and Jeff formed Perfect Heart. Their first single, Somebody Touched the Lord, topped the charts. 2 years later, it was Song of the Year. They were awarded Favorite Horizon Group, and Jeff received Favorite Musician Award. Jeff joined the Kingdomaires at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee in 1999. While there, Louise Mandrell called on him to start a quartet for her nearby theater. They quickly became the fan favorite, the Triumphant Quartet. In his 12 years with them, Jeff won 5 more Favorite Musician Awards, was voted 2007's Musician of the Year by Southern Gospel Music Guild, received Grammy and Double Award nominations for the co-produced album Love Came Calling, and produced, arranged album Songs from the Heart, voted Favorite Album in 2012. Jeff also was honored to perform at Carnegie Halls, the halls of U.S. Congress, and teach at Steve Hurst School of Music at the university. He was also grateful to have served as president of the Southern Gospel Music Association. Despite the whirlwind of his accomplishments, he realized his greatest and most valuable possessions would always be family. In 2014, he moved back to Edmonson County, Kentucky, wanting to spend more time at home, looking forward to developing a solo career, and maybe even begin to see his beloved Kentucky Wildcats a bit more often. How he loved wife Stacy, children Nicholas, Natalie, Braxton, and Maddie, and darling granddaughter Stella. One of Jeff's greatest gifts to us was his profound rendition of the Hallelujah Chorus. Its words forever etched in our hearts. And on September 14th was ushered in the presence of the one about whom he played, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. This past year, Daylin released Jeff's final recording, appropriately named Finished Well. Today, Jeffrey Wayne Stice takes his place in the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame. You finished well, Jeff. You really finished well.
President of the Charles Nobel School of Gospel Music and lifelong friend of Jeff's, Rob Nobel.
It's an honor to be here today to speak on Jeff's behalf. I'm Rob Nobel, as Pastor Bridget said, and I direct the Charles Nobel School of Music. Charles Nobel was my father, and in 1982, my dad hired Jeff to teach at our school. London Paris was teaching bass for us at the time, and London called my dad and said, "Charles, I've got a young piano player from Kentucky that would make a great addition to the piano staff." My dad called Jeff and said, "Jeff, I'd like to talk to you about teaching at our school. Could you prepare me a cassette tape of you playing some intros and some endings? Let me hear your playing and we can go from there." And Jeff said, "Charles, I'd be happy to." And he said, "What keys would you like that in?" And when Jeff was telling me the story, he said, "Robbie, your dad freaked me out." Because he paused for a second, he said, "Well, Jeff, all of them. I need them in all the keys, right, Josh? All of them." So, Jeff passed the audition, and Dad hired him. Little did I know that later that summer, as a 12-year-old piano student, I would walk into a private lesson room and meet a teacher, a mentor, a hero, a friend, and most importantly, the brother that I never had. Jeff and I truly had a Paul and Timothy type of relationship. He spoke in. Jeff was a giver. Jeff spoke into my life, and Jeff created opportunities for me. When 1991 then happened, Jeff called me and said, Robbie, we've started this perfect heart thing. And Aubrey Stevens was playing bass guitar at the time. He said, but Aubrey's getting married. Can you come out and fill in for 3 weeks? And I said, Jeff, I would be, I would say yes. I'd be so excited to. And I said, what song should I prepare? And Jeff paused for a minute and he said, well, all of them. And he said, I have been waiting a decade to say that to a new girl. So I went out with them and we did 3 songs. And Danny Funderburg turns around and says, would you make our new bass player Robbie Novello? I looked down at Jeff and he was grinning you all from ear to ear. He knew, he just didn't want to tell me. So if Arb's here today, I want to thank him for going on a 4-year honeymoon because those 4 years were the greatest years of my life. Jeff and I got to play music with my hero night after night. Jeff and I created chemistry musically on stage and we got to deepen our relationship off the stage. It was truly a great experience. When Jeff got sick in 2021, one of my staff members, Tara Jackson, she said, Robbie, we've been doing some things online. She said, we need to organize some nights of prayer online. And Kelly, Nealon, and I have been talking about every other day, just checking in on Jeff, and she helped me organize these. And y'all, we had 40 and 50,000 people joining in those Facebook Lives to pray for Jeff. Jeff made a difference, not only in gospel music, but in every life that he encountered. And we were praying for him through that time. I'm wearing blue today and wearing this UK lapel pin. Jeff and I, we had a great relationship. We also shared moments of intense fellowship when it was basketball season. Jeff was an avid UK basketball fan. I'm wearing this pin today and it comes off in a little bit, but I'm wearing this in Jeff's honor today. He absolutely loves his Wildcats. During that time, Autumn had created some t-shirts that were blue and they said hashtag Team Jeff. At CNS that summer, at CNS 22, we created these blue bracelets that said hashtag Team Jeff. Today I stand here, Team Jeff. This man gave me opportunity after opportunity. His career, we saw in the video, speaks for itself. But in 22 at CNS, we established the Jeff Stice Impact Scholarship Award. Jeff made an impact on gospel music, and he made an impact on every life that he came in, and starting with mine. With every life he encountered, Jeff made an impact. So every year for the last 3 years, we offer 10 Jeff Stice Impact Scholarships to young people that we feel are going to make an impact on gospel music. So Jeff's influence and his impact is still being felt on this great music that he poured his entire life into. I'm glad I get to speak today. Jeff would play this down, but as someone that watched his career for 40 years, no one deserves this more than Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame.
Jeff Stice into the Southern Gospel Music Hall of Fame.